anything. It means they want to talk, right? Welcome. People who are just starting.
Oh, I can't make that.
But, and this is the kicker, you decided, how did you make that? And that's how, I love it. Hello, everybody. Keep letting us know where you're joining in from because I read these afterwards. So I have my lecture, which I am hosting on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's called The Rise of Miniatures, a Pop Culture Phenomenon. It is a pay-per-view event. Definitely go into my, check out my social media, check out my website. I have it listed there. You can register. I would like to also announce next week's Meet the Miniaturist with Rosa Moran. She is from Simply Living Designs. Can't wait for that. So definitely register and join. That registration is up. And then finally, I think there was one more thing. I think that's it for now. With that, I will say hello to my special guest today, Scarlett Stephens-Smith from the UK, and to say thank you for joining late, because I know it's late where you are, and to say thank you for joining us before we dive into it. Just a little bit of what we know about you, Scarlett. You have undertaken this extensive renovation of your home in the UK where you live, but, and this is the kicker, you decided at some point, and we're gonna do a deep dive into this, you decided to create that same house in miniature. And that's part of this lockdown project maybe that you're doing right now. But thank you for joining us. I think it's an amazing project. I was totally drawn to hearing each and everything about it. And also, just so you guys know, Scarlett scratch builds everything she makes. We're gonna get a little tour of her dollhouse and of some of the pieces in it, but let's chat about this, about the where's, why's, how's, when's this came to being. But can we first start with, let's tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little about the home renovation that you did, because we're seeing some of it behind you and it looks absolutely lovely. Yes. So tell us about yourself, Scarlett.
So I first bought this house with my boyfriend, Ben, in 2017. And it had all the carpets, all the wallpapers. It must have had 6 layers of wallpaper, crazy interiors. It had a wall kind of between the kitchen and the dining room where I am now. And we just went on a mission to try and get it done as quickly as we possibly could. We wanted to learn how to do everything ourselves, hadn't done anything ourselves before. We just kind of went for it.
Yeah.
Ripped it all out. Ripped all the back out, had building work done. Probably took us a year to do the full renovation. And then we moved in, and then it was a year of much slower progress because we were living here. So
you were not living in the house for a whole year before you actually took occupancy, and you're still sort of, it's still underway, right? It's never really done.
Yes. No, still got lots to do.
Well, from what I can see here, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And did you do the design work yourself? Did you have your hand in that?
Yeah, we just kind of made it up as we went along, didn't do any mood boards. We kind of just, our kitchen, we both went and looked around some kitchen showrooms, looking at all the different colours, and both went, I like that blue. Yeah, I like that blue. Okay, then. And then off we went and got the blue. It was, yeah.
Well, it's
really
gorgeous.
Have any plans?
What we can see here, it's gorgeous. So there came a time though that you decided, and I'd love to hear why you decided to make this same home in miniature. I only laugh and because it is such a huge undertaking. Miniaturists know that it's not an easy task, and you decided to do this and commit to it.
I think optimism was at play at the start. I thought, oh yeah, it would be a quick project, lockdown, something to do. Right. I thought it would be quick and easy, low cost. And here I am, almost 7 months down the line. I'm only 2 rooms through. So
right.
I've got
right. We're going to get to that. So had you ever made miniatures before? What is your sort of creative background? Crafting?
I've loved to make things. I've always loved to make everything and anything. When I was little, I used to play a lot with polymer clay. Mm-hmm. That's probably where it came from, that I kind of naturally led into miniatures. But I used to play with those all the time, making models of our house. I made models of animals, all sorts out of polymer clay. But
And did you have a dollhouse growing up?
yeah, so this is my childhood doll's house.
So the house that we're going to see is your childhood dollhouse, which
Yes.
you played with, probably not. I mean, did you work on it and create the interiors like you're doing now with it?
So my parents built it for me when I was really little. So it had all old school wallpaper and wooden floors in it.
Right.
And I've just, renovated the whole thing, of course.
Right. So you decided to take, so you took, oh, right. You were telling me a story about that house. Did they want to get rid of it? And you were like, no, don't get rid of it.
Yeah, it was in lockdown. Everybody had a clear out in lockdown, didn't they? So my parents had a lockdown clear out and said, you must take the doll's house.
Right.
And I said, no, please don't make me store the doll's house. I don't have room for it here. And they said, well, we're going to throw it away if you don't take it with you. So I begrudgingly took it home. And it was one of my friends who I've made through Instagram who said, oh, you should turn it into a replica of your house.
So that's where the idea came from.
She gave me the idea, and I'm never one to turn down a project. So I thought, oh, great. Okay, then that sounds fun.
So, but you had a strategy. You were going to make everything from scratch, right?
I was. But I thought, oh, maybe I'll be able to get a similar bathroom suite. I thought I'll be able to get a toilet and a bath that's ready-made. Right. I couldn't get one that was the same. So I ended up just making everything because I just couldn't get what I needed to get to make a replica of my house.
Right. But that was it. It was that you were going to create a replica of the full-size house.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So I want to talk a little bit about the fact that you became this sensation, this online sensation, because of your project. I mean, it first began with a TikTok post. Is that right? Tell us how that happened.
Yeah. So I made a TikTok account again in lockdown, anything to cure the boredom. And I was posting renovation videos on there just to see what it was like, really, because everyone says TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. And I thought, I'll have a go, see what it's like. And I hadn't posted anything in a couple of months while I was doing the doll's house. And it was when I was doing the outside, the pebble dashing and the brick stencil, the really satisfying peeling of the stencil. And I thought, I'll just put a video up on TikTok. And that's where it all started.
Right. And it was a before and after. The video showed you before working on these walls with the stencil. And then it did a reveal of the full-size bathroom, and it's, the fact that they matched and they were, yeah. So, and then it just grew from there. I mean, right now, the videos you post on TikToks are exclusively about the dollhouse, right?
Mostly at the moment. Yeah, mostly.
Following, right. So, so can we see some of the house? And by the way, folks, the chat box is open. So if you have any questions, definitely ask them and I'll relay them to Scarlett. So yes, so I think it's fascinating that we're seeing it in progress. Would you say it's halfway done?
Yeah, halfway.
Halfway. And that's 7 months later.
Yes. Can't believe it's taken me that long, but.
Well, so how much time do you spend working on it, would you say?
I spend an hour to 2 hours every morning.
You do? Like you sit down, you do.
Yeah.
Is it meditative for you? What is it?
Yeah, because I work from home at the moment because of the lockdown.
Right.
So I get up at the same time I usually would, which is quite early. And then I'll just make it before work and I'll spend an hour, 2 hours just kind of relaxing.
I bet that those 2 hours just fly. You probably just blink and it's gone, right?
Yeah.
You get really lost in it, in when you're making. And so I think you were telling me early on when we first chatted that you had to really decide what it was you were going to recreate, because I mean, is that due to what? Is it, what your skill level, your ability? What is some of the thinking behind whether or not you're going to tackle something?
everything I could possibly make.
Right.
And as time's gone on, I've got more confidence on kind of what I can and can't make. So I've tried my hand to more things. But at the start, I was just kind of testing the waters, seeing what I could do, getting back into it. But I've slowly been making more and more. I mean, the shelves in the living room, the plan was to recreate every single item.
Can you show us that room?
So this is the living room, but I don't know if you can see the shelves.
Yes, I see the shelves along the wall. So what were you saying about the shelves?
So in my shelves in my actual living room, I've got pots, books, rocks, loads of things, plants, vases, all sorts. And I was just going to recreate every trinket and every picture frame and anything basically that was on the shelf.
But did you decide not to? Where you are? You just haven't.
Yeah, I haven't had enough time yet.
But what are some of the materials you use to recreate?
It's mostly balsa wood is amazing. I use all sorts of different thicknesses.
We're getting lots of requests for you to show that room again. Sorry. Yeah. So some of the materials, again, balsa wood. You did mention polymer. What is the piece? What is the item above the couch?
This.
Yeah.
That's a log.
It's a sculpture. I thought it was going to be a sculpture.
It's a piece of wood.
Like a driftwood.
Like a driftwood, because in our real living room we've got a piece of driftwood above the sofa, and I've managed to find the replica.
My favorite piece is the chairs. Would you mind lifting up a chair and just bringing it in? So that chair you have in full size, and how did you find the material?
So the fabric is the same fabric I used to reupholster the big chairs.
Oh, it is the same? It's the same.
Same.
And you found a piece of the fabric that worked in small scale.
I put a poll on my Instagram stories and everybody picked which fabric part.
Oh, no.
So this one's the face, because lots of people voted for a big face on the chair.
But in full size, it's not the same. You don't get that same impact, that graphic. Do you?
Yeah. No.
It looks awesome as a chair, as a mini chair.
Yeah, I was really pleased with these.
Yeah, there people want to see your real living room, which I don't think is going to happen right now because you're probably stuck in front of your laptop. Let me just see if anybody has any other questions before we move on. So we did talk a little about the materials. Haley wants to know where you source your materials from. So it's
just local shops, really. A lot from Hobbycraft has all the basic materials, because I don't have all the special materials and kind of tools and everything. I've just used whatever I could find around the house. So it's mostly felt, polymer clay, and different types of balsa wood, all of which you can get from, your local craft shop.
Right. I mean, I love the round table. That round table has 10 million views on TikTok. So that is definitely getting around and people are seeing it. I love it. I love it.
That was hard.
We did get a request to see the exterior if it's possible to swivel around, because you talked a little bit about pebbling and texturing.
Let me just get the boards.
That's fine, because we get to see more of your interior. I love the door by your kitchen. Oh, look at that. Oh, it comes off.
Well, I've taken them off while I'm doing the inside, and then I thought,
okay.
So they're not attached at the moment.
Well, that makes it easier. Okay, so the brickwork, you did that with that stencil again, right?
Yes, all of this was a stencil.
Love it.
This was, I just cut loads of squares of pieces of cardboard and painted over them.
Right. And your dad built this for you?
My parents bought it for a birthday, which I can't remember how old I was, but.
Did it come from a kit, or it did?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but
It's lovely. It's lovely. Well, thank you for sharing the exterior. All right, so can we see the top floor? Because the second room. Right, and we chatted a little bit about the stenciling of the interior, which, whoa, that's quite ambitious. So you stenciled the walls. This is a recreation of the bathroom, right?
yes, this is the bathroom.
Oh my. So you have gray stenciled walls, and what are the floors? Are they painted?
So the back wall, round the bath and the floor is all a stencil. So that was so difficult to stencil. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I just got really excited that there was a herringbone pattern and thought that is just perfect for my bathroom.
Right, right.
It was so difficult to stencil that.
It looks terrific. It really does. So what are the next other two rooms going to be?
So the next room I'm doing is the bedroom, which is this room with the green around the edge. And
Right.
I've got a kind of mid-century burnt orange velvet bed that curves, the headboard kind of curves round.
Oh, you have that in real life, that means, right?
That is real life. So that's what I'm trying to make at the moment.
That's awesome.
I'm kind of midway through that. And then I've got a painting that goes above my bed. It's kind of an abstract painting that my brother painted for me.
Right.
And I'm going to try and recreate that.
I love it.
Had some fun ideas about using cotton stretched over some balsa wood to recreate a mini canvas. And then I was going to paint with acrylics.
So aside from you mentioned that the stenciling on the interior was challenging, and I hear you. It's challenging to use those stencils even on the exterior. But what have you found to be most challenging?
Challenging technically, those stencils, just because they take such a technique, and if you're doing a big space as well, you can, if you don't have the technique right, then you can see where the stencils have joined, right, because you haven't stuck it on quite right, and because it was such a big space, that was really challenging. I found that really hard, and it just took such a long amount of time. Right. But then just challenging for endurance have got to be those tiny, I made some tiny books. Yeah, we did get a request to see the books up close. That's one of them. I love it. And those are books that you actually have on your shelves. Every single one, every single. And I put them in the same order on the shelves, of course. I love it. I love it. In the same order. But everyone on TikTok, they weren't happy because I didn't put miniature words inside. So I got told off. Well, not going the extra. Yeah, some of the diehard miniaturists are going to want to see the small print. Yeah. And they're going to want to see traditional bookbinding methods. So you have to draw a line at some point. You really do in the miniatures world. So what are some of the things that continue to surprise you, because you're still in the process? What are the biggest things? What's surprising you out of this project? What you can actually make. When I was making the miniature TV, I'd made the TV and I thought, oh, it will be fun if we can print some TV programs, and I'll make it so they can slide in and out, and then you can change the TV. And then once I'd made the TV, I thought, should I make a TV remote? That's going to be too small. No, I'm not going to make that. And then off I went, tried to make it just to see. Right. And it's always just kind of the process of working out how to make something is the fun part for me. And actually going about and thinking, oh, what's the best material to use? Or how should I go about making something? And that TV remote was a lot of fun. And making the cafetiere. Can we see it? How did you make that? Oh, I love it. I made it out of polymer clay. It's all clay. It's all clay. Okay.
So what, I love it. I love it. What would you say to someone who, wants to take on a project? Just having a dollhouse, period, is a big undertaking. What kind of advice would you give to them?
If they wanted to kind of do up a doll's house like I have.
Maybe not even recreate everything, which is very ambitious, but just having a dollhouse.
Yeah, just give it a go. The fun part, honestly, the fun part is testing things out, seeing what materials works, trying to make things in mini, and just kind of not letting yourself go, oh, I can't make that, or I can't make that. Just have a go, experiment with materials.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with a good with some good balsa wood and some good glue. Like, you've got to have the best glue.
Yeah. Did you ever think to yourself, no, I'm not going to make this, I want to buy it?
I did for the bathroom. I found the bathroom really hard. I thought I really want to buy the bathroom suite, but I just couldn't find one. So I made it.
And so, it's a little too far ahead because you still have 2 rooms to do. But where do you think this involvement in the mini world? Because I think that we haven't really even touched upon that, because there was a time that you had the dollhouse when you were younger. You grew up, life went on, you found this huge house to do in full size, and then you went back to miniatures. So I'm imagining there hasn't been minis in your life in between those 2 periods. Yeah. And I don't want to get ahead of it because you still have this project to finish, but do you think you've been bitten by the mini bug? Like, where do you see yourself in the mini world moving forward? Like, say, after you're done with this project, would you do another one like it? Do you see yourself being, or do you I can't wait to get this done?
No, I don't want it to end, because I just don't know what I'll do when I don't have this to do. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll do when it's over. I'm kind of in a bit of denial that it's ever going to be finished, for starters, because our big house is never finished.
That is right. And there's always room additions. There are 2 sides to that dollhouse, and each one could have another room. So it really is never truly done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do love miniatures, and every miniature I make, you get better and better, because they're so calming and satisfying to make, and it doesn't take half the amount of time as a big house.
Right.
When I made the Frida chairs in big, they took me days, and these took me a few hours. And it's really nice to just try something out, and it's not a lot of time to just have a little play around and see what you can do.
Right. Nicole is saying, "Oh, it won't end." LOL. We did have a request from, I'm going to say his name is Guy Thomas, or maybe Guy Thomas. Can we see the cheetah jug? Is there a cheetah jug?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Someone's got a really good eye. Oh, look at that.
Can you see it?
So that's a jug. Oh, I love it.
Tin can.
Oh, I didn't even see. Someone's got a really good eye.
That's his
Good job. I love it. And that's polymer also.
Yeah, that's polymer.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Okay.
If you guys have any other questions, I'm going to actually look at my little cheat sheet, because we did get a question offline. Someone had emailed me, and I want to make sure we get to it. We actually touched upon it, which is what your next project is, but I don't think we're there yet. But it doesn't sound like you're done. You're done with miniatures for sure.
Yes, I definitely need to see how I can create more miniatures, but I love crafts and any type of making anything. So I've got projects lined up that aren't related to the doll's house, but in the meantime, I need to work out how I carry on with the doll's house.
What has been the reaction from, let's say, friends and family? Because you did become TikTok famous. Let's put it out there. You know, your TikToks blew up. BuzzFeed created a news report about you. What has been the reaction to sort of your social media success?
None of my family are really on social media that much, but I just kind of said, oh, this is happening and that's happening. And they were just, excited and happy for me.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're watching. Hi, Mom.
Is your mom on? Tell her I said hello.
Maybe.
Love it. This is great. This has been great. I mean, I just was like, when I first saw the project, the first thing that hit me was just because I know what it takes to undertake this, and it's incredible. It's an incredible undertaking, and you know, not only to commit yourself to a full-size renovation. You know, once I saw that and I saw the dollhouse, I knew that you were going to be somebody committed to it. And that, because I don't have that trait. I don't have that trait. So I am just so awestruck when somebody can tackle a project and do it. And I'm like, and that's what first like totally got me on like wanting to meet you, wanted to chat with you, and wanting to share that inspiration, because I know there are a lot of people out there who, you know, they're like, oh, I do want to do this, or I want to get into this hobby, and they just don't for whatever reason. But I think to see someone like you and see all of the work you've done, seriously, in full size and now in miniature, it's quite inspirational. It really is. And I think, and that's one of the parts I wanted to share when I found out your story, because, you know, what I do is all about inspiring others to get involved and to see miniatures the way I see them, you know, and to, you know, be as delighted and excited by them, no matter where you sit, whether you're an enthusiast or, you know, a maker or a hobbyist. So I'm just struck by, you know, the amount of energy you put into all of this. And, you know, and it's just awesome. It's really awesome.
I don't think I thought it was going to be as big of a project when I first started it. I thought it would be quick. I thought it'd be easy.
Yeah.
The same as any job I do, I always underestimate and go, oh, I can do that. That's fine. I can make it.
Right.
And it often takes me double the amount of time.
And it's double the amount of money, especially when you're doing a full-size renovation.
The doll's house has taken a lot of time, but I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
And quickly, when I started doing it, I realized that it was not a quick project, but I was loving it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that might be some of the hesitancy some people have with even taking on any new hobby, because they don't realize how much attention it's going to demand, how much time it takes away from other things. And I think, you know, to some extent, that's a lot of reasons why people don't get themselves involved in a hobby. You know, you might do it when you're young and then you go on with life, because who has time, and then you go back to it. So yeah, because you do spend a fair amount of time, 2 hours a day, even if it's 2 hours a day, 3 times a day, that's three times a week. It's a lot. So
yeah, it's how long it used to take me to commute to work.
Oh, is that how you thought about it?
Switched. Yeah, I spend the same amount of time doing something that I love rather than commuting.
I think that's a great way to think about things, especially as we move into this era of COVID. As we come out of the era of COVID, you know, people are going to be reevaluating the whole way they go to work, and if they even need to go into work and spending time at home. It's a good way to sort of bucket things and say, you know what, this is how much time I spend traveling. This is my time. Let me do what I want with this time. And yeah, it's a good way to think about it. It's a really good way.
It's surprising how much you can get done in a small amount of time.
Right.
Lots of the makes I've made in the morning and finished them in. I mean, for example, the cafetiere, the working cafe, that was a morning make. Took me one morning to make it, and it's fun seeing how much you can get done in that amount of time.
A list that you're working off of that you literally check off, or you're like, no, today I'm just going to do this?
It's very random. Yeah, I wake up and think, what shall I make this morning? And then I'll look through a box of materials and think, maybe I'll make a cafetiere. Yeah, it's very random. There's no planning in it.
I missed that. What's a cafetiere?
A coffee pot.
Oh, a coffee pot.
A cafetiere.
Oh, a cafetiere?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a percolator to me.
Oh, yeah, we call it a cafetiere in the UK.
I love it. What? Right. Oh, that's another one of your TikToks, which I love, where you're actually drinking out of a tiny cup. Yeah, fantastic. Does anybody have any other questions before we start to wrap our wonderful session up with Scarlett? This has just been such a delight. It really has. I really enjoyed chatting with you. I enjoyed seeing your work. I can't wait to see how it develops. I'm definitely a follower. I'm following you on TikTok. I want to duet you because you're just so much fun. And I just think it's great. Do you have any other parting thoughts for our folks who are out there who are watching?
Parting thoughts.
You don't have to have any. Let's get to a quick question. Someone actually mentioned that it was a French press that you made in miniature. Thank you very much, Allison.
Yes.
The remaining rooms, I think you mentioned they were going to be a bedroom and then the kitchen, right?
Bedroom and kitchen, and I'll also make the green wall. Can you see that?
Oh, I don't think we know about the green wall. That was in your TikTok, but tell us about the green wall.
That's just a faux green wall that's on my it's on my chimney breast. And I'm gonna try and make that in miniature.
Oh wow.
In the dining room, because I've found that you can cut up the green wall and make tiny leaves out of big leaves. So
yeah.
I'm gonna make a tiny leaf wall.
Yes. And that's faux, obviously it's faux plantings, right?
Yes.
So that makes sense. It'll be a faux in miniature. Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
So we do have Susan have some great feedback. Inspiration and a joy. Love your mini beginnings. Keep on beginning on. That's from Sue. Thank you, Susan. I wanted to say, if people wanted to follow you and find you, you are on Instagram at Weston Road Renovations, right? Yeah. And on TikTok at Weston Road Renovations.
Yes, just Weston Road Renovation.
Weston Road Renovation. Okay, yeah. Folks, follow her. We'll get to see her development of the next 2 rooms and then maybe what happens after, because that would be kind of awesome, just to follow all of your developments. And I want to thank you for joining us today. This has been so lovely and wonderful seeing you. Thank you for staying up late, because I know it's like past my bedtime if I was in the UK right now. And so thank you for joining us today for this Meet the Miniaturists. Thank you, everybody at home. Don't forget, we've got Rise in Miniatures lecture this Thursday, and then next Saturday is another Meet the Miniaturists. I hope you will join us for that. But to everybody, have a great week. And thank you again, Scarlett. Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.